Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 21, verses 5 through 19. Now, we are looking at these passages later in the Gospel of Luke in light of the advent of Christ, the return of Christ as Lord of Lords and King of Kings. He is talking about the end times with his disciples, and it begins with the disciples talking about how beautiful the temple is, all the wonderful, beautiful cut stones and all the ornaments of the temple. And what Jesus says is, watch out, don't be deceived. You know, all the things of this earth that we think are so wonderful, they're not going to stand if they're not in line with God's kingdom. That in fact, everything of this world, every aspect of this world, the governments, the businesses, the schools, the hospitals, churches, families, everything will be upended by the return of Christ. And why? Because sin pervades all of human society, right? There's not a single aspect of human society in which sin has not tainted it. And so all the things and all the building blocks that we think our society are built upon will be overturned. And so he goes on. They ask, when are these things going to be happening? Again, he says, watch out, don't be deceived. There's going to be a lot of people who say, I have the way to nirvana. I have the way, that they're saying that they're the Messiah, the Savior. And who are the ones who are telling us most that they're the ones who are going to save us, right? Politics. Really? And he says, when you hear of wars and uprisings, don't be upset, don't be frightened. These things must happen first, but the end won't come. No, instead there'll be more of this stuff. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There's will be earthquakes, famines, pestilence, fearful events, great signs in the heavens. And yet, with the war and the chaos, don't be frightened. It's just the beginning of it. And yet, those are the things that drive a politics of fear in our world, right? He goes on, verse 12. Before all of this, though, they're going to seize you, persecute you, hand you over, put you in prison. You'll be brought before rulers to give all on account of my name, and you will bear testimony to me. And I want you to think about how what Jesus is saying is that the fear of Christians will drive the persecution of Christians. They will be hated, they will be betrayed, and they will be persecuted. And as Jesus says this, you need to understand what he's saying is that Christians must follow in the path of the cross so that we can bear witness to Christ just as he bore witness to the Father in the cross. He says they're coming for you. Even your family is going to be coming for you. And this doesn't sound like that American dream of the rapture with some escape hatch from the persecution. Jesus is saying this will happen to you in order that you will be my faithful witnesses. And I think for us, the challenge to ask ourselves as we think about the second coming of Christ is, are we afraid to be witnesses to Jesus? Are we afraid to be counted as Christians right now in our own society today? Are you afraid to be a Christian with your relatives, to speak about Jesus with them? And ultimately, are you willing to be hated like Jesus? Or do we want to be liked by this world, which is tainted by sin? Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.